you go right and then right, that's the fastest way to score.
All right, welcome back to the training ground, and today we have a very, very special guest. We have Mitoma. No. All right, go on. Give us an introduction.
My name is Daisuke Takanaka. Everyone calls me Dice. And then
Who do you play for?
I play for Flyers FC. It's USL2. I play winger.
And then what happened to you at the end of the season?
I got Player of the Year, Mountain Division. Yes.
Sweet. All right, Player of the Year of the league, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of you have asked for a tutorial for the winger positions, and Dice is a winger. You know, we couldn't have found a better player than someone who's got a Player of the Year, right? Let's get going. So we're going to talk about some of the specific situations, such as required skill set as a winger, how to create separations, type of movements that we can make, and maybe some of the tips that you can provide us at the end of the video as well.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Sounds
Should we
good.
get going?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Dice, so you like to play on the left, yeah?
Yes.
So just to kind of paint the picture here, we're on the left flank right now. I'm a fullback, got you in my back pocket right now. You're trying to find ways to get the ball, right? So whether it's from a center mid or a fullback, kind of talk us through what some of your movements, some of your actions would be here to create separation from me so that you can get the ball.
Sounds good. So with defenders this tight, I would say I use my hand to push the defenders away so I can create a space.
Right.
And then face the defender, I can go 1v1.
Get the ball on the feet, come at me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's obviously, the tighter I am to you here, if you can get your hands on me, then that's going to allow you to use that to kind of get that momentum. Okay.
Absolutely. And then second option, it's easier. I mean, you know, getting ball behind, it's easier to score because it's getting closer to the goal, and then 1v1 to goalie, so that if defender comes at me this too close, I can just fake it to the feet and then go behind. And if defender follows, I can just go push away and then create space again for the feet, so I can do 1v1.
Right. So is that something where you're kind of reading what I'm doing, right? Because if you start to try to run in behind and I'm still faced up to you, you know you're much faster than me, right? So you're going to be able to burn me.
Right.
But if you're coming at me and maybe I have a little bit of separation and I've already turned my hips so that now this is more of just a foot race, but my momentum's already going this way, that's when you could then pop back and receive the ball into your feet.
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
sweet. So what about, obviously you want to start wide here, you're a winger. Is this a situation where you're staying on the touchline the whole time, or are there different moments where maybe you're going to take your movement more inside?
Yes, there's a different moment that I can go inside so that I can have a combination with teammates, or, you know, if the fullback is you know, struggling to pass me the ball, if I go inside and then he can give me pass, so that way he can go run to the side and I can stay inside as well. Yeah. And then if his defender is too tight, I can get a defender from midfielder, get inside, and then, you know, just go straight to the goal. Just ignore this fullback defender, so that way it's easier to get to the goal.
Got you. So let's say though, let's pretend here that I'm just a really good fullback, right? I've had you in my pocket the whole game. You're not having a lot of success against me. What's your mentality like? Are you changing up that movement? Are you going to do some of the same things again? Just kind of walk us through what it's like if you're, say we're 50, 60 minutes into a game and you haven't beaten me yet.
So there's always better defender, right? So every time I try to make a move, you follow. There's always a moment that I can be free, you know, so that when I get a ball, it's always a little bit late to think after you get the ball. So I always try and think before he pressed so hard, so that the other situation, if my teammate is close, before I can even get the ball, I just play one touch so that I can do 1-2 since defender is too close. If I try to fake the run and then he's following me, I can always back up as well. So I just also see the situation and movement, and then where the teammate is.
The other thing too, if this is 1v1, maybe I'm doing really well against you. A 2v1, even if I'm a really good defender, I'm not going to be comfortable with that.
Right, absolutely.
So the more you can pull like a midfielder or get your forward involved as well,
Yes.
the tougher that's going to be for me.
There's a situation the defender is always close to me, also means that there's always other space around him that other teammate can use it. So if he's too close to me, that way my forward or fullback just go around the behind to get his back.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
I think the other big thing here, and this is for wingers, for all attackers really, you're going to do a lot of these movements throughout the game. You're not going to have success every time doing it, right?
Absolutely.
There's not a ton of goals in a 90-minute game.
Right.
But it only takes one moment. So even if you're not having success against me for a majority of the game, if all of your movements are, explosive and you're trying to get to goal, it only takes me tuning out for 5 seconds, and then next thing I know, you've scored,
Absolutely,
right? So
yes.
just kind of sticking with it.
yes,
For sure. Sweet. So let's say, Dice, what if I'm just really not a good fullback, right? And you can tell, that's something you could probably tell in the first couple minutes of the game. You know, if you get the ball and go at me, you're going to be able to beat me 90% of the time. Then what would it look like in terms of movement? Are you demanding the ball more? What's that
Yes, I definitely demand the ball more. So that way, it's, for me, I'm confident to do 1v1 against defenders. So when I get the ball, I can always go at him. Or get a ball in the behind, so that way, if he can't catch me up, he'll have to follow me, to get a arrow or something like that. So it's caused the problem for them. Make teammates stay away so that I got space to do 1v1, and then also tell my fullback to stay in the back, so that way, even though he makes a run, I got two options, but at the same time, when I lose the ball, I get a counter.
Yeah, you want to isolate me. As well,
absolutely.
Right? So once you've kind of gotten some separation from me, what are maybe some cues that you would use here just to let your teammates know that you're ready to get on the ball?
So I think you see in some professional games, but I think I use hand gesture, so that the way, even when I make a movement, some teammate can't tell if I need a feet or on the back. So that when I make a movement, I just go point up, feet, so that way I can get it on my feet.
Right.
If I want the ball in the back, I still make a move, but I still point on it where I want it. So that way defender follows, I just go behind.
Yeah. And maybe even using like some deception with the hand movements sometimes as well, right?
Yes.
If I'm really tuned into you and I see you checking back and pointing that way, I'm going to start to step, right?
And then, I can
and
change
your
the
teammate,
option.
especially if it's someone that plays with you, they're going to know, like if I'm right here, you're going to peel off behind and behind.
Or, some other teammate can tell if he's so in my back, he say, just run. Or I can just tell them that, play the behind and just scream it, so that way I can just start moving.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it, Dice. Well, me personally, I'm more of a visual learner. So let's do this. I'll shadow defend you, and let's kind of go through some of these different movements, how you would create separation. We'll go through it game speed. I'll try not to kick you, okay?
That sounds good.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. 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 Whoa. Yeah. So when the defender cuts the eyes off of me, that's a sign to get up behind his back. And, hand gesture, call it, so that way it's easier towards the goal.
By the time I see you, you're
Yes.
gone.
So you have to change the space, because when you're taking the slow down, the defender is not ready. So that way, when you go full sprint, he can just catch up. Yeah. Yeah. So when you beat the defender, you use the left hands and left legs to protect the ball. And then what I want to do is that I don't want to take big touch if there's another defender. So I take a touch, little close to me, and then protect, and then boost. So that way you can protect the ball, and then you can see that another defender is coming now.
So would it just be an arm then that you're putting across me, or are you gonna step in front of me as well?
Yes, so especially when defenders is close to me, I'll use
using that left leg as well.
Yes, left legs, yeah, and then also arms to swing off of you.
Right.
So that way I can speed it up.
So why, when you're stepping in front of me here, why is it so important for you to use this leg as well?
So that way you can protect the ball, and then, yes.
Right, then I have,
be in my bag.
no path to the ball.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, so we're going to talk about like 1v1 a little bit more in detail. So a lot of times what we see is, especially the youth players, they tend to dribble at speed constantly, or going fast is like the best option like all the time. How do you decide as a winger that you got to go fast, or sometimes you got to slow down? How do you decide that?
Mostly when I slow down, it's usually we want to keep the ball, right? We want possession. We just get the ball from them so that I don't want to lose the ball. If I go to 1v1, you know, sometimes it's like 50-50, right?
Right.
The defender's going to take it. So that way, I try to calm down the game. So that when I'm engaging, but at the same time not engaging.
Of course.
Right. So that's when I slow down. But
So you're carrying the ball.
Yes, basically, yes.
You're not looking to penetrate, not necessarily. If you can, fantastic. But a lot of times when the defender's already in position, set, then most likely you're going to have to carry. So slow it down a little bit.
Yes.
And then look for an opportunity to either pass or penetrate at best. Or run with it, yeah.
Or, you know, when defender just bite me and then just go.
Yeah.
That's also
Perfect.
good.
So you just mentioned the word bite. How do you decide when it's time to penetrate? So, for example, right, 1v1 situation, do you try and, obviously depending on the situation as well, but do you wait for the defender to come here and then you make the move? Or do you maybe throw a couple of your moves to make the defender bite? What's your preference?
I would say I'm confident with speed.
Yeah, right.
So when they bite, I just take a touch, I go.
Right.
So this is my preference.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think it depends on the situation, but sometimes when you're close to the goal, I have to make a move because all the defenders will come at me.
Yeah.
So the way I just move and shoot.
Right.
And then at the same time, you still move the defender.
Yeah, right.
Then I can fake.
Exactly.
Again. Yes.
So the technique to maneuver the ball in different directions and different pace and speed is so important to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
A lot of young kids still struggle with when to carry the ball at pace towards the defender or when to carry the ball to protect it. How do you differentiate that?
So I just look at the situation of what's going on.
Yeah.
So its best option is that I don't have to do 1v1 and then pass the ball forward, he 1v1 to the goalie. That's the fastest way to score. Because 1v1 is always, you know, slow down.
Yeah.
So when I'm on the speed, I'll say, I just find the teammate the closest to the goal, or I can just beat the way I cross and then finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So can you show us maybe one or two skill sets that you might prefer to use in the game?
My go-to is definitely, you know, scissors.
Yeah.
So
Is it mostly right foot around and left foot take?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just because
So you like to go down the line?
It's because I'm right-footed.
Okay.
And they know I want to cut in, and I put left wing.
Oh, so you're using the
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Reverse psychology.
So that way, it's always good. The way it works.
Of course.
And then,
Because that's sure though. But what happens, say, I predominantly played as right back. So, and that's true. You know, if I'm up against a player who's on the left, plays on the left side, but is right-footed, a lot of times when I'm defending, I'm not necessarily cutting in here. Because if you're left-footed, it's a slightly different situation where I might be just about here because I know you probably don't want to go in there, or I could just be here and still trying to get a block on it.
Yes.
Right, delay and block. But what if the defender knows that you're right-footed, you want to cut inside, ideally I think. What if I'm defending from here, right? And all I'm doing is, zero chance here, and I just want to run with you. How do you deal with that?
so for me, this situation is my win.
Okay.
It's because I'm 50-50 with you,
Right.
pro. So that way, as if I try to fake it, still go to in the middle.
Gotcha.
Or if he's right here,
Yeah.
I can just move and then cross.
Right.
So it's more like too close that the angle of defender is. Just
So you
not
actually
it.
quite prefer this angle of the defender then?
Mm-hmm.
So you can run with it because you believe in your pace.
Yes.
And then if he does run with it, then that's when you cut inside. So it's rather that you don't want to deal with this.
Right.
Okay. What are some of the maybe variations that you might use to change directions to other sides? You're not running necessarily down the line, but you might want to cut inside. So how do you do that to go inside?
Oh, so just change the scissors situation. So you go right and then right.
Okay.
Because if someone do scissors, you most likely go other side.
Yeah.
So this works as well.
Right.
Or, just body is going towards, but
So
feet is going in the middle.
Hey, that's slightly what we talked about in the videos, right? Keeping the ball away from my leading foot, keeping it protected, almost like dragging it, and then you can change directions, right? So would you say you need a lot of skills as a winger, like different skill set, different variations? No. Would you say you need that, or is it like one fundamental moves or two maybe at best, and it comes the variations of it?
That's definitely true. Only one move that makes everything change. You know, just changing the one movement always works. I don't think you need to have a variation all the time to just beat the defender.
Right.
I think it's all about timing, and quickness and changing the space.
So you talked about timing. I think that's the hardest one that young players find. How do you know when it's time to go past the player? So you're dragging and dragging. What are some of the cues that you look for to take that touch here or take that touch inside?
Right. So it depends on the defender as well, because I always see defender's body shape. Okay. So that
is it the feet, hips, or shoulders? What is it that you're looking for exactly?
Feet and
the hips.
Hips. Yes.
Okay.
So that when I'm going, if they bite, that's easier, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But if they're going back,
just want to contain.
Yes.
Right, so how do you?
Then I'm getting closer to the goal, which is better benefit for me. So that way, I just go, and then teammates are always moving.
Right.
So that way,
of course,
if they're trying to help me out, and then if fullback is running, I can just pass, right? And then they're gonna bite that pass, and I can move.
Yeah.
Or towards the middle, I go middle a little bit so that 1-2.
Gotcha. So you can also make the defender make the move the way you want him to go by showing your hips deliberately to certain sides, right?
Yes.
So you might just dribble. Let me see the ball. So you might just dribble this way, but sometimes you just might show your hips here and then carry this way as well. Okay, so it's the body movement or the hips and the feet of the defender that you look for.
Yes.
On
to change the
where you want to go.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's good.
So I was saying, I don't use scissors when the defender is close. But by the time I get in doing this,
Yeah.
and then defender stop the feet, I start doing some.
Yeah. Dice, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hope we had fun,
for
man.
bringing me.
I forgive you for burning me 100 times in a row. Wingers,
That's what I
hopefully you
did.
guys found this educational, useful. Get out there on the training ground, put some of these techniques to use, and then especially in training and games, we went through a lot of different game situations today, right? So just some things for you to think about, how you can create separation, get on the ball, what your movement looks like, what sort of runs you're doing, what you're looking for in the defender. Some really great stuff from Dice today, so we appreciate having you here.
Thank you so
And
much.
like I said, hopefully you guys found it useful as well. Yeah, that's about all I got. Dice, anything else?
Fundamentals is high performance.
See you later.
Love that.